Hey guys, before we go any further, just a quick disclaimer. I am not a therapist in any way, shape, or form. I'm just here giving you ways in which I dealt with my mental health. Without further ado, let's jump right into this week's episode.
Guys, and welcome back to Still Worth the Journey podcast. On today's episode, I'm joined by a really good friend of mine, actually. Used to be a truck driver. His name's Dazza. Used to watch him on YouTube all the time with a fifth wheel. But he has changed his career, so to speak. So without further ado, here he is, Darren. How are you doing, Darren?
Hello, mate. I'm doing fine, thanks. How are you?
Yes, very good, thank you. Very
good to see you.
And you. It's really good actually seeing you, because I've not seen you on anything recently because you've changed jobs.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, I've been posting to YouTube, but it's been all fitness related, and it's my old channel, but new me, I guess.
Yeah. Does that have something to do with the top you're wearing?
Yeah, do you like it? For those of you that are listening, you won't be able to see it, but it shows my logo and my brand name off nicely in the bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah, so for those listening, it's Drive Fitness, isn't it?
Yep, Drive Fitness. Drive Fitness UK on Facebook, Drive Fitness UK on YouTube.
It's absolutely brilliant.
Cheeky little plug.
It's not cheeky. There's a reason behind it. So obviously people listening to this, we know that we run a mental health podcast. And I've always said with mental health comes physical health. And that's where sort of Darren comes into it, really. He understands the physical side of our bodies. And as we age, I'd imagine, Darren, you can answer this better than me. So what really got you into this? What made you want to change, like get out of the trucking and into fitness?
Well, for those of you that haven't listened before, I basically, I woke up January the 3rd, 2 years ago, and I was 22 stone. I was obese, and I hated the idea of going into a gym. I'd never liked the idea of gyms. And I went downstairs, made myself a coffee, came back upstairs, sat down, and I was literally out of breath. I could not breathe. And I just thought, shit, I've got to do something. I have got to do something. So I started doing what I call kitchen cardio. So I did some, star jumps and some sort of jogging on the spot and bits and pieces like that every morning. Felt like a complete tit. No one could see me in my kitchen. No one could see me, so it didn't matter. At that point as well, it's fair to say that I really, really disliked myself. I genuinely didn't like myself. I didn't like who I was. Didn't like the way my thoughts were. I genuinely sort of really didn't like myself at all. So I carried on with that, drank plenty of water, and I lost 4 pounds in 1 week. And I thought, you know what, maybe I could do with going to a gym, but I don't want to go to one of these big corporate gyms like a Pure Gym or something like that. I want to go to a proper gym. I want somewhere where I'm going to be looked after. So I phoned up a local old school gym, and I phoned him up. I said, look, I'm overweight. I'm fat. I don't want to be sort of judged or anything like that. And I don't like the idea of going into gyms. He said, come down here. He said, come down here. He said, well, you might like it. So I came down and I walked in, and there's bodybuilders there, and there's people that are super fit. And I'm thinking, shit, I'm out of my depth here. But you know what? They were all friendly. Every one of them. Hello, mate. How are you? Good to see you. And I thought, hang on a minute. Why are these people like this to me? The truth is, they've all got their own story. Half of these, maybe even 3/4 of these people were once like me. They were once overweight. They maybe, had struggles, everything, Anyway, so I had a little workout, just did some cardio, gentle cardio, and got a couple of tips off of some of these guys, like how to run on the treadmill and, like things like this. And I walked out, and the guy that I was talking to, he said, did you like that? And I went, do you know what? I actually did. And he said, okay, well, do you want to go away and think about it? And then, if you want to join up, you can do it online. I said, no. I said, take my money now. He said, well, don't you want to go away and think about it? I said, if I walk out of that door now, I'm going to come up with a million reasons not to join. I said, so please take my money now. And he was like, well, okay, it's only 20 quid a month. So, fine. It was £18 a month, actually. Yeah. Fine. Okay. So sign me up. And I went, started off doing like 2 days a week, Saturdays and Sundays, because obviously I was working on the trucks.
Yeah.
And I went from strength to strength. I won a Transform Your Body competition.
Brilliant.
And then, I decided that I wanted to become a PT. So that's what I've done. And mentally, it's It's blown me away. It's blown me away.
Oh, what a great story. So from that, so for those who don't know, being in a truck, we don't have the greatest diet or exercise regime because we are on the road an awful amount of time. I don't know if anybody's seen my TikTok recently. I was actually doing press-ups from my truck step on the front. Try and keep fit somehow.
Yeah.
But it does make you wonder, what would you say to other truck drivers out there that are perhaps a little bit on the heavier side? They're not getting around as easy as they could, perhaps out of breath. What would you say to them if they're a bit scared to go to the gym, a little bit like how you were, you felt intimidated, that kind of thing?
Do you know what? You don't have to go to a gym. You don't need a gym membership just to be a little bit healthier and a bit fitter. I actually, when I was in the Transform Your Body competition, I was parking up in truck stops. I was running around the truck stop. I was doing star jumps in front of everybody. I was getting down doing push-ups in front of everybody. I was doing a little bit of HIIT training in front of everybody. I didn't care who saw me. What are the chances of seeing that truck driver that could possibly be judging me, right? And one of the things in life is it's human nature to be judgmental, right? I could have met you for the first time and you could have gone, what a twat. I don't like him. Yeah. There's just people that you just don't like, for whatever reason. It's just nature, all right? So there might have been maybe 1-2 people there that were watching me going, look at this fucking idiot, but for the most part, I found that there was one guy actually sticks out in my mind. I was parked in the services on the M42. Hopwood?
42.
Is it Hopwood?
Hopwood Park?
Yeah. I got caught out on a Friday night and there was about 12, probably not that many, probably about 8 British trucks there. There's a lot of foreigners. And I was in this competition and the Transform Your Body competition, and Friday nights are my cheat night. So I have a cheat meal between 7 and 9. Now, what you'll find is that when you have a cheat meal, you really enjoy it. It's a treat. It's like Friday night is my night. So I thought what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some exercise, and I'm running backwards and forwards, and I'm sort of doing circuits, so to speak. Nothing too major, but get me out of breath, And there was a guy watching me, and I saw him watching me, and I sort of thought, you know what? I don't give a shit what you think, mate. I really don't. This is my body, my life. Exactly, I'm doing it for me, I'm doing it for me, not for you. Anyway, cut long story short, he got out of the cab to go to the toilet, whatever he was doing, and he came back and he said, do you know what, mate? I've been watching you. He said, and fair play. And I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. I thought he was being judgmental, and actually, no, he was like, fair play. He said, I wish I could do that. And I went, you can, mate. You can. Just, who cares what people think? You're doing it for you, not for them. And that, and you find that really sort of, people don't judge you as much as you think they do. And a lot of the time they're respecting you, or they're thinking, I can't do that.
Exactly. So again, that's the mental health, isn't it? It's your own brain overthinking, the negative thoughts in your mind that can actually hinder you from carrying on wanting to do something. Like you said, it's going to prolong your life. The fitter you are, the healthier your heart is as well. The cardiovascular side, cardiovascular.
Yeah, cardiovascular. CV. We'll call it CV.
CV. That's easier to pronounce. But yeah, so when all said and done, that guy might be laughing at you, but you might be getting an extra 10 years out of your life. So it's worth doing for that 10 minutes of feeling someone's judging you, when in actual fact, they're perhaps not even caring. They're perhaps looking at you thinking, bloody hell, I wish I could do that.
Yeah. Well, the thing
it's like
is,
they can.
And the thing is, it's not a school playground. You haven't got to go to work with this guy. You haven't got to go to school with him every day. You haven't got to see him every day. You've probably seen him for 20 minutes, 30 minutes in one day in your life. The chances are you are never going to see that guy again.
Yeah.
So, it gave me a little thumbs up there. Like that.
Hey, it did. How did that do that?
I think because I did that to the camera.
That's brilliant.
If you're listening to the podcast and not watching, I sort of put my thumb up or made some sort of gesture, and it on the screen it just went thumbs up.
That was amazing. That was brilliant. So you're in this truck stop at night time. You've had that. What was your cheat meal? Because I just want to know what that was.
My cheat meal was a Burger King. I think it was a Burger King or a KFC. I can't remember what's there now, but it was something like it was a burger. I think I know I had a burger.
Yeah, they are enjoyable.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. And the thing is, this is the other thing as well. You can still eat what the hell you want. You don't have to. Like I've learned now, and I'm only 2 years into it, but I've now learned. I'm just starting to learn that actually you don't need to necessarily watch what you eat, and don't feel guilty if you have a sausage roll, or a chocolate bar. It's fine. Just you know that you've got to burn those calories off. You've got to do something about it. Get on with it. It's not going to kill you. Just because I do. I like the other day. I was around the house and I was at a loose end, and I thought, do you know what? Those sausage rolls look really good. We've got a pack of sausage rolls in the fridge.
Yeah.
You know what? For my lunch, normally I'll have something healthy, but today, no, I'm going to have that. Gosh, I had 2 sausage rolls. Now, normally it was actually my rest day from the gym, so I generally try to eat really healthy on my rest days. But you know what? I'm going to do it, and I just went for a walk around the fields in the afternoon, and that was it. That's all I did. 20-minute walk, job done.
I like my Cornish pasties and my pastries and my Greggs, and I like stuff like that. When I was at the gym, so I've stopped recently. I had a bit of a knee injury from squats, and I'm suffering with my shoulders at the moment due to winding legs on trucks. So,
hey guys, just a quick one. Didn't want to stop you listening to that excellent story that's within this podcast right now, but I just wanted to give you a shout out. If you yourself have enjoyed this podcast so far and believe that you have your own story to tell, then why not get in touch with me today? Just reach out by searching Still Worth the Journey. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and any other platform. If you've got a story to tell, share yours with me today. Let's get right back into this week's episode.
I'm struggling a bit, but when I was doing it, I went in the gym this time round. So I've been doing it since I was 14. But this time round was the first time in my life I ate clean, really healthy. But it was also the most expensive way of doing it. And is there a cheap way to eat healthy?
It doesn't have to be expensive. It really doesn't have to be expensive, right? So what you're trying to do is there's a lot of gravitas, there's a lot of weight in what they say about eat your 5 a day.
Yeah.
Right. So if you have a burger, for example, right, everyone would think, oh, burger, I can't have a burger. Oh, yeah, you can. What's a burger made out of? Beef.
Beef.
Yeah. So what's wrong with a burger? All right. So if you wanted to be really healthy about it, how about getting like a wholemeal bun instead? Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have. It doesn't have to be expensive. And a lot of people. I was having this discussion with someone the other day, and I've got to digress a little bit here. This kind of winds me up. She said, "Oh, I've got to buy all this organic food."
Yeah.
And I went, "You what? Organic food's so expensive."
Yeah.
And I said, well, what do you mean organic? And she said, well, it's like organic, isn't it? It's the best, it's the healthiest. No, it's not. What does the word organic actually mean? Tell me. Can you tell me?
Don't ask me.
I'm going to whip.
I know that the bread's about £4, considering Kingsmill or whatever is £1, so it's £3 more.
Kingsmill, a bit of both is perfect, right?
That's what I did. Yeah, I went down to wholemeal. I changed my pasta for rice as well for the carb side, just because it was a bit less on the fat side, I think.
Okay, so the word organic from the dictionary, Oxford Dictionary, means relating to or derived from living matter. Okay.
All right.
So, when is a carrot not organic?
When it's not a carrot.
When is a blade of grass not organic?
Yeah, you're right. They are organic. Does it mean there's no preservatives then? Or added sugars or whatever?
No, it's a gimmick. It is purely, the word organic in front of anything is purely a gimmick.
Like a sales pitch, marketing.
It literally is. It's like it's the same as me saying, or you, for example, saying, "Well, I'm going to put some organic oil in my truck." Well,
Right.
what?
Okay.
What? There's no point. It's just oil, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't do anything. So yeah, the word organic it winds me up. Don't get organic crap. Just have yourself some nice leafy greens. Have yourself some nice, decent lean meat. All right. Eat what you like. Just exercise it off.
Yeah.
Don't go silly on the sugars. Don't go silly on the fats. Just watch your sugar and your fat, and you're there. So yeah, the whole organic thing just winds me up.
Yeah, no, it does me now listening to that for what you just said. Because see, when I was eating the clean, I went from 3 sugars in my coffee down to 1.
Yeah.
My partner tried to get me on sweeteners, but I couldn't take the taste. It would always hit my throat. I couldn't get on with it. I spoke to you earlier this week about Coke Zero. I can actually take,
yes.
but Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke can't taste. It's not very nice. Coke Zero works for me, so I think everybody's individually different anyway with the taste buds. But I've also started walking a lot now, which I find's really helping, because I've tried to run, but I got shin splints, so I couldn't carry on with the 5K, the couch 5K.
I can tell you how to get over the shin splints.
Really?
Yeah, I can tell you how to. I can get you through that.
Is it because I'm big? Because I'm 15 stone, and every time I run, I feel like my shins are going to break. I feel like I need to be more like Mo Farah, like dead light on his feet.
No, I'll give you some tips later on afterwards, but I can get you sorted with those.
Oh, brilliant!
What were we saying? We just completely went off on a tangent.
Organics.
Right? Oh yeah,
organic food.
Yeah, Coke, aspartame. We were talking about, weren't we?
Yes,
before?
That's the word. Yeah.
So aspartame, another one that irritates me. Aspartame. People say it's bad for you. That's why they don't have sweeteners. That's bullshit. You are making an excuse for yourself not to try something, not to like something, and not to get on with it. That's all you're doing. All right. So get over yourself, because if you were to drink, the only time your body would have a problem with aspartame is if you drank an entire pallet of diet fizzy drinks in one sitting.
Yeah,
you'd probably drown yourself before you actually died of anything to do with aspartame. It's so minimally, in its raw form. Yeah, if you were just to start eating aspartame, yeah, of course you're going to kill yourself. But it's like, no,
it's been diluted down or something.
Well, the trouble is, we live in a world where one person says something and the rest of the world goes, "Oh, no, that's bad. Oh, that's bad." No,
Yeah.
just calm down, chill out.
I remember when bacon was bad, and it was like, I love bacon, and it was all this stuff and meat, and I was like, what? It just blows your mind. There's a lot of scaremongering, so none of us actually know what's what, and we're trying, but the media always paints a picture, but we never know how good is that information that's being given to us.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the one where the newsreader's in the flood and she's up to her knees in flood water, and she's sort of like, she's got a microphone and she's saying, and it's as you can see, I'm up to my knees in blah 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 in water, and it's devastating around here. And then 2 blokes walk past, and it makes it clearly obvious that she's sitting in a puddle on her knees. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit that the media put into our heads. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad.
That's quite comical. You're actually making stories up to make the news, kind of thing.
Yeah, literally. And they do the same with everything, food and things like that. But again, going back to it, when you get a handle on it, and it doesn't take very long, when you get a handle on it, you find that, your mental health as well just goes through the roof. You're like, yeah, I feel great. There was a point where I knew that I was doing myself some good, and I remember exactly where I was. I was doing a tip. I was just opening the curtains, pulling the curtains back in. I can't remember the name of the place now. I can see it vividly in my imagination, but there was a place, not my imagination, my mind. That's the right word. there's a place that we were tipping at, and what I used to do was I'd make a point of running around the truck, opening the curtains as quickly as I could, running around the other side, opening the curtains as quickly as I could, and then bouncing back into the cab. And I bounced back into the cab and I went, shit, I couldn't do that 2 months ago.
Wow.
Literally, I bounced in, I sat down, and I went, I'm not out of breath. And I just bounced into the truck.
Like an 18-year-old Dazza jumping back in.
Yeah, it was like incredible. My mind just went, yeah, now I feel good.
That's
and that
good.
was so, yeah.
And what does that do to you as a person as well when you're looking in the mirror at night or whatever, or in the day? Because I know we all have body complexes, and I think it's called body dysmorphia, where we all seem to think that we don't look how we look, and in our heads with this really awful thing. What does it do to you after you've done all that and you are bouncing around?
Well, like you said, everyone has bits of their body they don't like. I personally still have a little bit of fat that I need to get rid of, that I think I need to get rid of. But somebody recently said to me, God, I wish I had your body. And I showed off my chest. I pulled my top up and I went, what, even like that? And they went, God, yeah. Are you joking? I'd love to look like that. I was like, really? Seriously? Yeah. I'd love to look like you. Right. Well, there you go. So, yeah, it is. When you're standing there and you're checking yourself. See, a lot of people make this mistake of having this relationship, a toxic relationship with their scales. So they get on it and they go, oh, I've only lost 1 pound this week. Well, if you've only lost 1 pound this week and you're trying to lose weight, surely in 14 weeks you've lost a stone.
Yeah, it's a win as well, isn't it? If you've lost it. My missus is doing that at the moment. She's not very big, but she's got body dysmorphia where she feels like she's bigger than she is. So she's on this thing called Slimming World, I want to say.
Oh,
where it's the sins. So I've been on it with her. To be fair, I actually quite enjoy it.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Why?
I
think the food's well nice. We have like stir fries and stuff, and it's really good. We use the air fryer, make it nice and grease-free.
Beg you, don't do it. Right? Okay, let me explain what happens. And it's very, very, very clever marketing. Okay. So, when we were like cavemen, and probably even before that, built into our brains was this little thing called the starvation system. Okay?
Yes. Yeah.
So what happens is your body goes, right, okay, so I've had all of this stuff to eat. I've fed on all this stuff. It's now maybe winter time. Food's a bit scarce. You've got to go and work harder to hunt, and, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to store all of that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to store it as fat. And I'm going to, or as we in the profession call adipose tissue or adiposity. Okay, so I'm going to store it. Yep. I'm going to store it as excess fat. Okay, and then when I need to, I start burning that fat off for fuel. Okay, so that's what it does. That is the effect. Okay,
right.
So what Slimming World does, and all these other things, yeah, it sounds great. You can eat what you like. You don't have to exercise. You can diet. All right. So Mrs. Jones, she goes on a Slimming World, Weight Watchers, whatever, and she loses, let's say she loses a stone. She gets to her target weight. She's like, yes, I'm well happy. Oh, that's brilliant. I've done it. Okay. Then what does she do? She starts to eat again. Right. Her body then goes, right now I've started to eat all the things that I want to eat again and need to eat to be able to survive. I'm going to store it. So instead, what she does is she puts a stone and half back on, and then she goes, oh, I need to start my Slimming World again or my Weight Watchers again. So she starts it again.
Yeah.
Right. And the same process happens. Now, some people, I'm not saying everybody, but some people are very successful and they do keep the weight off, and it's fine. It's great. It's wonderful. But it's not a healthy way of doing it. It sounds like it is. It seems like it is. But trust me, it really is not healthy, because you're training your body that you're going to starve again. And then it puts on more weight, and more weight, and more weight. And eventually, as we get older, so let's say your missus does this, I don't know, 10 times, right? By the time she's 45, 50.
Yeah.
Okay. Her body then starts to slow down. Okay. It's natural. It's a natural process. Our bodies start to slow down. Like there's my muscle on my bicep now. It looks okay. I'm not happy with it, but it's that's
looks lean though.
It kind of does, but the thing is, if I was in my 20s, that would be up here. It would be massive.
Oh, right, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
because I've slowed down. My body's starting to slow down. I'm 49 in what 5-6 days.
Well, you look really good.
Cheers.
You don't look 49.
It's the beard.
You look young.
But so our bodies start to slow down. So what's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen when she stops doing Weight Watchers? All of a sudden, she can't get around as much as easy because she's not as mobile because she's older. All right. Maybe you've got 3 kids by this time, 4 kids, whatever. So she's running around after them. She hasn't got time to do the exercise. She hasn't got time to put the energy into eating healthily. She hasn't got the time to do Slimming World anymore or Weight Watchers or whatever, right? So what's going to happen? She's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's the same with blokes as well. Our metabolism, for example, our testosterone.
Yeah, they lower, didn't they, as we get older? Yeah. The minute I hit 30, my metabolism started to slow down because I was like 9 stone wet through throughout my whole life.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got content.
Yeah.
Piling it on.
As you will, yeah. I take over 40s. I take zinc and vitamin D3 with K2, and that helps my testosterone levels so that I can actually put muscle on a little easier. It's a little easier on my body. Don't get stiff joints and things like that as well. So it's quite cool. But you find yourself needing to do these things. But I don't like anything that is a diet because people blow this word out of the water, and it's stupid because the word diet literally means what you put into your body. It doesn't mean anything more than that.
Yeah, I have been trying to say that to people.
That's my soapbox done.
But I just feel like people hear that word, and I think it's been sold in such a way where it automatically says you've got to eat less.
Yeah.
Whereas I've always been taught from going gym, eat at least every 2 hours. You should never feel hungry. Because you're burning fat whilst you sleep, whilst you're living. You've got your burning, like on my phone, everyone's perhaps got it. I think it's called your burning calorie, resting calorie.
Yeah. So
it's when
your basal metabolic
like base
rate. Level. Yeah. It's called basal metabolic rate. And your basal metabolic rate is basically, mine is 2,200, 2,100, something like that. So my basal metabolic rate is, if I were to lay in bed and do nothing, not move, not eat, not drink, not sleep, not anything, right, for 24-hour period, I would use 2,100 calories.
Wow.
So I eat my active calories. So what I need to get me through the day is 3,200, I think, 3,200 calories.
So does that give you like 1,000 calories then
throughout the day that I could? I don't know. It's 1,500 for me. I beg your pardon. So what I'll do is I'll eat 3,000 calories in one day.
Yeah.
But then I'm burning off most of what I've eaten, the excess, in the gym or going for a walk or whatever it is I'm doing. So your basal metabolic rate is basically your flat line, what you need just to survive.
Just to keep ticking over. A bit like a hot tub. It needs X amount of kilowatts per hour of energy to keep it running. Right.
Exactly the same. So if you can imagine somebody on a life support machine, they will put their basal metabolic rate worth of calories into their body to keep them going.
Right, okay. So am I right in thinking then, if people were wanting to lose weight, that would be then the calorie deficit?
Yes.
You'd lower that down. So say for you, for instance, if you want to lose it, you'll go down to 2,500 calories.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. That'll lose me about £1 a week, pound and a half, maybe 2 a week, if I'm lucky.
Right, okay. And is there, if you didn't want to stop eating your diet, you wanted to still get that 3,000 calories, can you still burn that off by, what type of exercise could you do? Say if you're not very mobile, you can't run like myself with the shin splints. Can you get that with walking? And if so, how long do you need to be walking for it to take effect? That kind of thing.
It depends, but really what you want to try and do is you want to try and get a little bit out of breath. So because you've got to remember we're all built differently. So
Yeah.
I could say to you, right, go and walk for 10 minutes every single day, and you might lose a pound every week just doing that. Whereas Joe Smith might put on weight just doing that, because we're all built differently.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So, but what I would say is you need to get slightly out of breath. So if you're having a conversation and we were walking, you want to be sort of talking like that a little bit. So yeah, a little bit out of breath
so
and saying
pace
yeah.
to the walk.
Yeah, exactly.
Step it up a bit, yeah, or hill.
Yeah, because there's only two ways of burning fat. There's only two ways of losing. It's quite a difficult way of phrasing it, but there's only two ways via exercise that you can burn fat, and that is by breathing through our breath and urinating.
Yeah, I've heard that. We breathe it out. We breathe fat out.
Yeah, of course.
Blow my mind. Yeah.
Well, basically, it's carbon, isn't it? It's carbon dioxide.
All right.
So everything that I love the human body. So if I start like waffling off, just fast forward this bit, and but basically everything that we eat and get everything has got a calorific value. So if I were to eat this plastic bottle, it would have a calorific value because my body is processing what I've put into it. Okay.
Oh, right, okay.
The calorie, and again, this is something else that annoys me. People don't understand what a calorie is. A calorie is basically 1 kilojoule of, I think it's 1 kilojoule. I might be wrong on that, but it's basically a unit of energy for your body.
Right, okay.
So if you can think of liters of fuel in your car.
Yep.
All right. So that's like if every drop would be 1 calorie.
Ah, right,
if you're with
okay.
me, right? And you wouldn't put crap diesel. You wouldn't put like diesel into a petrol car, would you?
No, because it won't work.
So
wrong fuel. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't do it with your body. Put the right stuff in.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so 1 calorie it gets turned into how can I put this? I'm trying not to blind you with science, but basically the raw material, the raw chemical that makes our muscles move, whether you're blinking like we're doing now, I'm using my hands to speak, that's using calories off, that's using energy. That energy is called adenosine triphosphate, and all of the chemicals we put into our body, right, get burnt off in the muscle tissue with adenosine triphosphate. That's what's causing my hands to move, my lips to move, everything. All right, so that's how a calorie gets used. All right.
Wow.
So when you're inhaling, okay, it basically it gets circulated around the body and the bloodstream. All right. When you exhale carbon dioxide. Right. So 2 molecule C2O. So two molecules of carbon, or is it oxygen? Can't think. I'm not a scientist. So it's burnt everything off. So the way that you're gonna
expelling the rubbish.
Yeah, you're basically expelling the rubbish. Yeah, I'm trying not to blind you with science. I get so passionate about it, and I'm like, I want to do this in layman's terms, but I can't.
It's fascinating.
So yeah, and the other way is, of course, through urinating.
Ah. So right, people, you need to breathe out more, and you need to go to the toilet more.
Yeah.
And if that's you, go to the toilet and press pause on this podcast.
They've probably fast-forwarded right through that bit.
So, talking about fat, I've been told through the years, obviously you get some really good information from people, and then there's some really rubbish information out there. And I find there's a lot of gym goers that are sort of in no man's land. We're just going around in circles. Like, you've got your programs. Do this for 12 weeks. Now do this for 6 weeks. Now do that for 12. There's never a one thing. So if we've all watched the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, I forget what it's called. What's it called?
Which one? There's loads.
The main one where he's bodybuilding. The bodybuilding
one. Not Rocky. That's Sylvester, isn't it?
That's Sylvester, yeah. But Arnold's got this film, and I watched it the other week. And all he ever says was, I just train every single day. Now, I know physically, for everybody, we're not able to do that, especially when we're in jobs and whatnot. But we always hear that.
I beg to differ on that, but carry on. We'll come back to that.
You know what? You're right, because we've got 24 hours in the day. We can make time. It's all about discipline, isn't it?
Yeah, we all have 24 hours in a day. For example, if you work in an office on the 3rd floor, why are you taking a lift? Go up the stairs, you lazy fucker.
Yeah.
If you're in a lorry, right? Time yourself. Get out. See how quickly you can drop a trailer. See how quickly you can pull the curtains. See how quickly you can de-strap.
Yeah.
Exercise. It's just active exercise. Anyway, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Well, I've heard people in the past saying, "I want to lose fat around me gut." A bit like me. I've got a little tire, a little tiny tire around me belly. But I've been told that you can't actually target where you lose the fat. You lose the fat from everywhere.
You do, yeah.
And you'll start to see a difference after about 3 months, 3 to 6 months. You'll see a slight difference.
You can see a difference in 12 weeks. I'll show you my. I can't show you my picture, can I? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll send you my before and after picture, and you can put it in here, which is at 35 minutes, just in case you need to note that down.
Let me mark it. I think that's how you do it. Marked. There we go.
So yeah, you can't spot target, because you hear a lot of ladies will say, especially they'll say, I want to lose it off my bum.
Right.
You can't. Your body doesn't know. Your body doesn't go, right, okay. I'm going to lose fat off of my left thigh today. It doesn't do that. It can't do that. It's impossible. You have to burn adiposity off across the body. Now, you may be genetically built I've actually seen this in 2 different gyms. There's been 2 guys and they've got a gut. They've got a big gut.
Yeah.
Right. That's it. But the rest of their body is ripped. Well, not ripped, but, looks really nice.
Yeah.
And you think, are you just overeating?
Well.
You're just overeating or what? Is that, why are you? And do you know what it boils down to? Their genetics. There's one guy, he's in his early 60s, and he's been going to the gym since he was about 17 years old, and he eats healthily. He doesn't even eat burgers and things like that very often. It's literally just
down to genetics.
Just down to genetics, right? He will never ever lose that. Here's an interesting fact for you: Arnold Schwarzenegger, right, has not got a 6-pack.
Trying to think now. I'm trying to picture him in my mind's eye.
Right. Think about it.
What is he? He's a metamorph, isn't he?
I don't know. Mesomorph? I can't remember. But he's not got a 6-pack. Right? And he's a bodybuilder.
Van Damme has.
Yeah. He's a bodybuilder, right? And he's a champion bodybuilder, obviously, Arnold Schwarzenegger. But he doesn't have a 6-pack. And everyone goes, of course he has. He's got a 6-pack. How did he win all the IBFA and blah, 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 blah. If you look, he's only got a 4-pack, right? And the reason is because of the way he's genetically built. His abdomen might just come in slightly more at the bottom, which means it's not going to show through his skin.
Not protruding.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I had a wicked 6-pack when I was skinny.
Yeah.
And that went...
I've got a 6-pack and it's kept in a keg.
Yeah, 6-cap. I'm still blown away by this Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm going to have to research this after. I need to check this out.
Yeah. He doesn't have a 6-pack. He's got close to it, but he's never had it.
Yeah, so when I went gym the last time, I got a thing called... Because there's this new quote-unquote off thing called... what's it called? Body... You know how you got... If you want to get bigger... And then, or if you want to lose it, it's called body. What was it called? He did it to. He tried to do it to me. It's like, I can't believe I've lost the word. What this is called?
Body transformation.
It's like that, but it's a word. My head's rubbish at some things. There's a word. Recomposition. Body recomposition.
Yeah.
Because he put me down as skinny fat, whereas I look big with the top on. But then I've got little arms. Like, my arms ain't as big as yours. Like, but then I've got a little belly. You can hear it.
Snap. Yeah. So, skinny fat. Now, there's a very fine line between being able to recognise a good personal trainer.
Yeah.
A personal trainer and a shit personal trainer. Most of them are good. but there are ones out there that will just try and make money, and that's all they're out there for. Okay, me, I don't charge a lot, and the reason I don't charge a lot is because I want to help people.
Yeah.
I'd rather help someone than have them like say, "Well, that's expensive. No, thanks." Yeah, but on the same token, I've still got to earn a living. So
at the same time as well, how much is your price? How much is the price of life?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Do you want to be more healthy? And there comes a cost, doesn't there?
Yeah,
Life's
exactly.
not free.
No, that's right. But and when they say skinny fat, I don't understand that, because to me, skinny fat would mean that you've got a lot of visceral fat, which is the nasty stuff that you do not want. That's the stuff that goes around your organs and around, floats around your blood system and things like this. So you don't want visceral fat. Well, you want a very small amount of it anyway, at the very least. So that to me is what skinny fat would mean. So you could look really skinny, but you might be eating crap all day.
Okay.
So you're keeping the visceral fat high, which increases your risk of heart disease, lung disease, all kinds of issues with the health. So that to me would be skinny fat. And they say skinny fat, and you think, well, how can you be skinny fat? Sod off.
Skinny arms and a fat arse and fat belly like me.
Yeah, but the thing is, you've got the fat all over. I've got the fat all over. Everybody's got the fat all over. And we need fat. Our body needs fat. Okay,
the brain needs it as well, doesn't it? The brain uses fat quite a lot.
Yes.
That's why I eat peanuts for my brain.
Yeah.
Good fats.
I've got a peanut for brain. That's it.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like
that. But hang on, I think I've got a sound
effect.
Have
you got that?
I think I've got...
There we go. That's brilliant. I love that.
So, yeah, that's kind of where I am. And the one thing, by the way, we're all human, and I can't give up vaping.
Mate, it's healthier than smoking. So they say. The NHS say it, and that's why I stopped 2 years ago. And I vape. I just can't put it down, though.
No, I know. It's annoying. But the thing is, here's the funny thing, right? I'll have a good few chuffs while I'm at home, right? And I'm like, I really need a chuff. And then I get to the gym, and I could be in the gym for 8-9 hours, working, and it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
I don't need it. I don't want it. It's like, how does that work? Why? I don't know. But
I think it's because your hands are doing something. At the gym, you're physically doing something. But when you sat down, I won't say bored, but, when you're driving or whatever, you got your hands. I just need something in my hand.
Yeah.
And, so this is I've replaced a cigarette with this.
I actually tried giving up about 2 weeks ago. About a week ago, actually, tried giving up. And I couldn't last. And the reason being was because of stress.
Yeah.
We all get stressed as humans. It's just what we do. And I was just getting stressed. And the stress was adding to the stress. And the fact that I was stressed about not having any nicotine stressed me even more. So I went out.
Fun fact for you. Nicotine actually causes stress. It highs the blood pressure.
It does.
So actually going out for a cigarette, like when we used to, people would say, why are you going out for a cigarette? Oh, I'm stressed. I already need one.
That's right, yeah.
Actually, having the cigarette causes more stress because it highes your blood pressure. So
yes.
It's just an excuse, mate. I want 5 minutes to myself. All right.
That's it. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
I want to chat.
Great for procrastination. It's like you go, do you know what? I've got to tidy the front room up and hoover. I'll just have this first.
See, that's how my missus stopped smoking, though. This is the true thing, right? So my missus stopped smoking about 5 years ago. And what she said was, right, I'd have a cigarette after I've cleaned the pots. You can hear my dog. Sorry about that, people. So she started to do the pots. She said, right, I'll have a fag after that. And he said, no, I'll do the hoovering. Yeah. And before you know it, she's got a long list of chores. But when it finally come to it, she just stopped.
Yeah, that's
I
brilliant.
applaud it. I cannot believe it. It's been nearly 10 years.
That. I might try that, actually.
Yeah, basically use it as a reward system. After that, I'd have one. I'll do that as well now.
I'll tell you what I'll do, right? I'll do you a deal. right? Did you say it's Weight Watchers? Did you say she's on Weight Watchers?
Slimming World.
Slimming World.
Yeah.
How much is she paying for that every week?
She's not.
She's getting it for free.
Well, we got a book. We got our own book, so we do our own meals. And she bought one of these hoops.
Right.
Great hoop. So you have to do hula hooping with it, but then you take off the links.
Yeah.
As you lose the weight.
Right.
And it works. So she's bought herself a stepper, some little hand weights from Argos, and she's doing lots of walks. So she's doing the both, and then she'll watch YouTube, women's fitness on there, and she'll copy the women doing their thing. So yeah, she's done really well. She's lost that stone so far. But
right,
then, like you said, it did fluctuate. It did. It did go back up and then back down.
Yeah,
but then we look at it and we're like, yeah, we do like a good takeaway. So it's like, you can't be too hard on yourself. You've got to be able to reward yourself, or else it's not worth.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's right.
So
exactly.
No, she's done really well.
So she's not actually going and paying for the classes and things like that.
No, but she's doing it all on her own at home. When the kids are at school and when I'm at work, so she'll do it in the morning, and it'll be like a little morning ritual for her 3 days a week.
Yeah, this is
just in front of the TV.
My Apple Watch, people competing with me, goes off and it says,
mine goes off.
Oh, mate, honestly, right, this guy's absolutely beating me, and I'm a personal trainer. What's going on here?
I need to add you to mine then. Let's see.
Yeah, we will do. You will do that. We'll do some competitions.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, if it was proper Slimming World, I would have said, stop it, and I'll write you a plan out.
You can still do that if you like.
I'll write you a plan out. I don't mind doing that. I'll help. So yeah, but when it comes to it, when you get down to the real crux of it, mental health is a massive thing when it comes to being fitter and healthy. You just do. You feel great. You feel fantastic. You feel invisible half the time. You're like, you know what? Or invincible. Invincible. You don't think anything can touch you, because it's like, yeah, you know what? I've done this. I've lost all that weight. I'm proud of myself. Don't need anyone else to be.
Goes up.
Yeah. You don't need anyone to be proud of you. Although I will say, when people start giving you those comments, and they say, "Wow, look at that! You look fantastic."
Yeah.
It's like,
a bit like the beach comment you had.
Yes. Yeah, the beach comment, that was good. But do you want to tell them?
You can tell them. It's your thing. You can tell them.
Are we talking about the ladies?
Yes.
Yeah. So one of my goals was to do something I'd never done before. Now, here's the thing: when you're losing weight and you're getting fitter and healthier, right? The trick is not to build Rome in a day. All right. Yep. So don't say, I'm going to lose 5 stone. Right? That's ridiculous. Don't lose 5 stone. Lose a pound.
Yeah.
And then lose another pound. And then say, you know what? I'm going to lose 2 pounds. Lose 2 pounds. Right? So do it little by little. Like me with giving up smoking. I've given up to vaping. Baby steps. Let's do it in small steps, right? So one of my goals was last year to be able to take my top off on a beach. And I was to the point where I thought, I've never done this before. I've never done it. I was always scared. I'd do it on a swimming pool because I had to, and didn't really like the way I looked and stuff, but that was it. So, and I very rarely go swimming for that reason, because I didn't like people looking at me and seeing the fat body. So walking along the beach, I went, you know what? Stuff it. I'm going to take my shirt off. I took my shirt off, and these couple of girls were, let's say, very complimentary. Should we leave it at that? They're very complimentary. And my missus was like, oh, yeah. But they were only probably about half my age. So.
Well, I think he's being a bit humble there, guys. They actually told him that he had a very good-looking dad bod. Right.
All right, thanks.
No, but that's good, though. That's a real confidence boost. You know that it's worked. And it makes you feel great. And that's what it's about. You've got to feel good within your own skin.
Yeah.
Because that is hard. A lot of us don't feel good in our own skin. I don't feel great in my own skin. I go gym when I do, and
again,
you're looking at people. You look at people, and they're like massive. You're like, I wish I could be like that. And then you start thinking they're laughing at you, but they're not.
No,
they're just more interested in their own regime.
Social media is probably one of the worst things that has ever happened.
Yeah.
All right. Social media is toxic, right? So you see, let's say you open up Facebook, right? And you see some guy there with his 6-pack, and you see him in January with his six pack, you see him in February with his six pack, you see him in March, June, all the way through the year, you're seeing him with this six pack, okay? What you don't realise is how, can I swear?
Yeah.
How fucking difficult it is to get a six pack. You have to go down to like 8% body fat, 10%
I was going to say,
maybe, right?
Paper thin.
It's really, really hard. Okay. I don't care who you are, unless you're genetically built, and we're talking 1 or maybe 2% of the population in the UK has that DNA, that in their DNA that says, I've always got a six pack, right? That's just them. That's how they're built. That's fine. Okay. But 98% of us are going to have to get down to like 10% body fat at the very, very most to be able to see the six pack. Okay. So what they do on social media is they'll go, right, okay, I'm going to work hard for the next 2 months to get my six pack. Then I'm going to keep it for a month and then fuck it for the rest of the year. All right. So what they'll then do is they'll get to their point where they're showing their six pack off. They'll get a nice tan in maybe June, July, and they'll take tons and tons and tons of media. Like they'll really, every single waking hour, they're taking videos, they're taking pictures, they're doing this, they're doing that on social media, but they don't post it. They schedule it to go out through the rest of the year. If you look in December, right, or January, right, they're walking around with short sleeves on, tank tops on. Have you never thought that's a little bit odd?
No,
because they've taken all that footage in June, July when it's warm.
Oh right, I see what you're saying. Saying. Yeah. When you see the picture pop up.
Yeah, you see a picture pop up in January, February, and they've got like six pack and they're ripped, and
it's hard as well though, because don't they have to dehydrate yourselves?
Yes,
which is it can be quite damaging to the body, can't it? Because
it can be. Yeah.
I know a couple of people that do bodybuilding shows, and they tell me they have to dehydrate a few hours before.
That's right.
To get really dry and lean. See, my body fat before I started the gym this time round was 27%, which is quite high. I was at risk of obesity, it says. Although I didn't look like it. So I think the BMI was a little bit... I don't really like the BMI.
I don't. BMI's wrong.
Yeah, I don't think it's right. Apparently wrestlers in WWE and whatnot, big built guys, John Cena, The Rock, they're classed as obese because of the BMI says so. But to look at them, it's like
muscle mass.
It's muscle, yeah. So I'm at the moment, I got down to 22%. I'm at 22% of my last go. So I got my partner a Fitbit watch with the area. Basically, it's a free.
Yeah.
It's a scales, and it will do your body fat, your water, how much water.
I've got those. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it, or the way I try to look at it, is look at myself in the mirror, take pictures. So I take a lot of pictures. Yeah. Front, side, back, and I do that every Friday. I'm not going to see a difference for the first 3, 4, 5 weeks, but I did notice a difference on my 12th week when I finished this thing, and not massively, but I looked thinner in the face. Yeah. I looked thinner around here. And weirdly, when I did tense up, I could see the outline of the top 4 six-pack, the abs.
Well, if you look at me, I'm going to do something I've never done before now. I'm going to show you how I look now. I'm going to stand up, I'm going to lift my shirt up. So anyone that's listening, you'll have to check out the YouTube channel. But here it is, okay? This is me at 17% body fat.
Oh, wow.
Headphones as well for this.
Yeah, man. 49 years old, looking like that. I can understand.
But I feel fat.
No.
Yeah, I do.
No. You've lost a lot of weight, Daz. You're looking great. You're looking super cut. I hear you that you're also helping out one of our fellow truckers, Nessa.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. What's she got doing? You're monitoring her through things.
Yeah. What I do is this is the thing about personal training. Personal trainers are personal trainers. They should be personal to you.
Yeah.
And I've basically got her doing some bands exercises, body weight exercises, and a bit of cardio. And she's doing absolutely fantastic. Really, really well done, to be honest. I mean, I can't, and I won't go into details.
No,
But yeah,
no,
I've got to do in
confidentiality.
those
I
sorts
get
of
that.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of I've got to do in all these things, And the other thing I've got to do in as well is active exercise. So like I said before, getting out of the cab and pulling the curtains back as quick as you can, or trailer swaps really, really quickly, safely but quickly. All this kind of stuff. Or when she's parked up for an hour waiting to get loaded, she'll go out for a walk around the industrial estate. This kind of stuff.
Good.
And it helps. It massively helps. Just try and sort of reel in your cheat meals to one meal a week. Have a set day. Have a set time. Like mine is between 7 and 9 on a Friday. Before that, I don't have anything naughty. After that, I don't have anything naughty. Massively naughty. I mean, I will. I'll have the odd treat here and there through the week, but you get used to it. But for the first sort of few weeks to get yourself into that mode, you want to be just having that one cheat meal. And believe me, we used to have takeaways all the time.
And we like takeaways.
Yeah, we used to have them all the time, right? And it was just the norm. Yeah, they were nice. They tasted nice. It was great. It's fantastic. But when you only have one a week and you're looking forward to that one cheat meal, oh my God, it is heaven. That cheat meal, that kebab is like, oh God, it's amazing. Get me another one.
Yeah. That's what it's about. No, it's really good that Ness has gotten into it and doing it. And how do you... So I've noticed, I've only just realised this yesterday. I think you WhatsApp me a group, the Drive
Fitness, yeah.
Fitness
WhatsApp
group.
Yeah.
So is that how you would connect with your people that you're training and sort of stuff like that, like plans and food or...
Yeah, so the WhatsApp group is just basically to kind of get everybody... asking questions, getting each other pepped up, let's go, let's do this. Maybe I'll say, right, this week's challenge is 10,000 steps this week, get 10,000 steps every day, and they'll send their pictures in and say, yeah, this is my step count for the week, blah, blah, blah. We can even do competitions as well. So you might win something, whatever. But obviously there's private chats as well. I've got an app as well that I use. So you can log onto the app and there'll be like a whole week's worth of exercises all set for you, ready to go. You can just do them each day.
Brilliant.
You can log things like your medication, your water, your whatever it is that you're taking, or you can just get in contact with me 24 hours a day. So it's all on the app.
That's brilliant. So I use a couple of apps. Well, I did because I've been naughty. I've not been gym for a bit. Since October, naughty Jermaine, or was it November? Might have been November, but I was using this thing called, well, I'll still do Strava.
Oh yes,
for when I go out on my walks and my runs and my cycles.
Brilliant.
Everybody knows on here why I stopped cycling. It was summer. I was on my own. Got a little ivis on the back saying HGV driver with 3 kids at home. Please do not kill me. Right? And a car drove by and chucked a bottle of water at me while I was trying to drive, and they was getting really close to me. And I saw a truck and a bus, and I stopped and I got onto the grass because I wanted to give them room, because I'm a nice guy, I'm a truck driver, I understand what it's like to face a cyclist, so I try and move myself out of the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, a car drove past with these 2 young lads and just threw a bottle of water at me, and I was just like, I can't do nothing about it because I'm on the road, I can't catch you to tell you off. And it was just like, it really put a downer on my cycling, because then I sort of felt a bit scared to go out. Because of the way my mental health is, it just depressed me quite a lot. And I thought, all right, that's done. Can't go out. So now my bike's been sat in there. It's got cobwebs all over it. That upset me quite a lot. So what would you say to people like that if they've had similar experience to me, where they've had a really bad experience in a gym or cycling, or
really try and find your own way around it? Because again, everybody's different. I would say try and find yourself somewhere like maybe in the local woods or wherever, the nice local sort of cycle path. I mean, I know roughly where you live. There'll be some cycle places around, around the park and places like that. Go, just try different locations, really. Just do you, but do it different. So just go somewhere different. Don't always choose the same things either. So whether you're in a gym or on a bike or you're walking or whatever, never do the same routes. Don't ever just say, right, I'm going to walk around the estate every week. I'm going to walk around that field twice a week. Don't do that. or don't go and do the same sets, the same reps, the same exercises in the gym all the time, because you'll get bored with it and you'll fail.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. You'll get bored with it and you'll go, why am I doing this? You know?
Yeah.
So, you could, all right, you can do the same one a few times, not a problem, but add some stuff in there, maybe even if you've got no choice but to do the same thing, then perhaps you do it backwards one day. Perhaps you try and beat your time every time. Try and beat your time. How much, if you've got an Apple Watch or something or a Fitbit, you could say, right, I'm going to try and do it in so many steps this time, or I'm going to do it in so many minutes or whatever. Just challenge yourself. Give yourself a bit of a challenge, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, spice it up. Just spice it up.
See, I do that with my walks, to be fair. I did Lake Districts in Feb. Last month I was in the Peak Districts. I did Mamtor. I did the whole circular ridge, which was about 8 miles, I think, up and down kind of thing, which was great. This month, so I think it's next weekend actually, I'm going to I can't pronounce the place. All I know is it's a reservoir near Aberystwyth or something.
Aberystwyth, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a reservoir near a little tiny mountain, middle of nowhere. I don't even know if there's a road to get in there. So we're going to trek, do a lot of walk, camp overnight, get the fire on, and have a bit of man chat, if you know what I mean. Just me and 3 other lads. 2 of them are ex-squaddies.
Nice.
And we're going to have a really nice sit-down chat and just get things off our chest. And that's what this is about. So just try and get men talking. We need to speak.
Yeah.
There's too many suicides going on at the moment with that. And I've just got, I don't know if you heard before, I did an online university course. I got my level 2 in self-harm prevention and a level 2 in suicide prevention. So I can try and help people. Yeah.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. I'd like to do something like that, to be fair.
It's really good, to be fair. I did it with Hertfordshire online learning. And it was free. It was government funded for what I wanted to do. Yeah.
Nice.
You got to put the work in, obviously. It was about 8 hours a week to put in around my schedule of driving. But because I'm so passionate about this and trying to help people, I thought, you know what, it's going to help me because it can educate me more on things because I only know what I went through. I'm not here to tell people that I'm a therapist. They know I'm not a therapist. I'm not a doctor or anything. I just tell people what I've gone through. This is how I dealt with it.
Yeah.
It may work for you. It may not. It may not, but we're talking. And that's the main thing. And when it comes down to me feeling a bit down last year, I then got back in the gym. And after the 12 weeks, I felt great. I thought, wow, confidence boost. I was speaking to people. I was smiling. Instead of avoiding people, avoiding conversations, with my head down, walking down the street, I was now, good morning, how you doing? You all right? Because I felt good in myself. And I think that's what physical health does. And I think that's where people like yourself come in, because you help people like me that are trapped in that little stigma.
Yeah.
To say, you can do it. Let's go. And that's what I think is great about the WhatsApp group. I'm going to accept it now. I'll remember it's you guys. I will accept that. And obviously, is that open to listeners if they were to join your courses?
If they were to join the courses and things like that, then absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I would say have a public one, but
you're going out to
it'll be too much.
It'd be too much.
So,
you'd be needing more servers and the bandwidth. So if there is any listeners out there, obviously get in touch. At the end, you got a website and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'll give you.
You
all
can say it now if you want as well, just in case there's somebody listening.
drive-fitness.co.uk. So that's drive. That's the little minus sign. drive-fitness.co.uk. And I do specialise in people that sit all day. So I do bodyweight exercises, things like that. I've done a CPD course in bodyweight exercises, myofascial release, and also what else have I done? I've done another one, hydration as well. So I've done all of those. So it's with regards to sitting down all day, your muscles do relax and they do get shorter, and you do
your
get
hamstrings definitely.
Yeah, exactly. They get shorter, and your body says, "Well, I don't need it to be that long. Why do I need it to be that long? I'll just, I can use that. I can use that protein in my body. I can use that somewhere else.
More efficiently, maybe.
and that affects your posture as well. And one of the things I found, I was always slunched over as overweight, and I thought it was me just being overweight. Actually, it wasn't. It was me not getting the exercise and not stretching enough to keep the muscles active, to keep them long enough. So
that's clever.
And a lot of blokes don't do glutes. They don't do glute exercises.
Yeah.
And this is where they fall over, because your gluteus maximus, your gluteus minimus, and your gluteus medius muscles, they all have a hell of a big part in keeping your posture.
They do. It's also the body's own not metabolic. What do you call it? Like a steroid thing. What's it called? Is it metabolic?
Testosterone?
No. It's like a steroid base. Like if you work your legs, like squats, leg press, it's the biggest muscle growth, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah. It helps stimulate.
Yeah. What happens is you have because all of the not all of them. That's a lie. A lot of the chemicals in your body that are made by your body that will enhance muscle growth and muscle health are in the sort of hip area, around the hips, that sort of area. So by the nature of actually, and of course you've got to remember that the biggest part of your body is your legs.
Yeah.
But that there's the most of your body. That's where the oxygen's used. So if you're doing leg day, you only need to do 30 minutes, because leg day is exhausting, and you'll probably find that you'll burn about 150 to 200 calories more on leg day than you will lifting weights. And that is simply because you're using more oxygen to get the blood into that part of the body.
Must admit, it's my favourite as well, leg day.
I love leg day.
I actually feel sick, when I finish the leg day session. I walk out feeling sick, and I'm like, yes, I want that feeling.
That's fantastic.
My legs are really strong. I was saying strong, to you it may not be strong, but I got up to 250 kilos on the leg press, and I was so active. And it was the laying down one where you're like that and you're pushing out. And then I'd put my feet wider, then closer, and then I'd even do my calf raises on it by using the tiptoe.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's what I would do. That's exactly what I do. That's exactly what I do. And the other thing is as well, do you do it single leg as well? Single leg press? Yeah.
Do the single, obviously, I've got to drop the weight on that. But I'll do the single leg, because I find the standing calf raise, it leaves red lines across my shoulders where it's basically torn, isn't it? It put a towel on, still there, still does the same thing. So I basically spoke to the PT at our place, and he said, just tippy toe on the leg press jump. And I was like,
that's all you need to do. Okay. Yeah, that's all I do. That's all I do. Leg press, tippy toes, and that's it.
The one thing I struggle with is lunges. The walking lunges. Yeah, I can't balance. My balance is, I'm like, I've only got like 12.5 kilo dumbbells each arm, and you'll think it'd be easier, but I'm just like wibbling around.
Drop the weight.
That's what I was thinking. Do I just drop it down and 2 kilos?
Start. Was that my? It was. I haven't got my do not disturb on. Sorry.
You're all right. I've just put mine off, to be fair. I totally forgot. Someone could have rang.
1 hour 7 minutes if you want to edit that out. So yeah, I would say drop the weights, or even try and do it freehand. So don't actually have any weights at all to start with. Yeah, and then just start with one good exercise to get your balance going, and you can probably do it with a box, is Bulgarian split squats.
Yes.
So you can hold on to something, do your Bulgarian split squats, and then as you progress, just let go of it.
And then try.
Yeah.
Yeah, I must admit, I did something similar to that to pull-ups, because I was struggling a lot with pull-ups. So I used assisted pull-ups just to help me, but now I can do them.
Yeah, I can't pull up.
Yeah.
I've never ever been, but then I am 6'6".
Yeah, there is that. But then again, you've got lat pull downs, which does the same sort of thing, isn't it? So
that's right.
See, when I go gym, there's some young lads that go there, and I give them a bit of advice. Now, I'm not a PT, right, by any stretch of the imagination, but I've seen them pulling it down, and they were really bending the back, like almost swinging it.
Yeah.
And I told them, I said, I don't know if you can see this on camera, but I said to them, you want to stay straight with your back just to get your lats. So it should only stop back there, just to your chin, but don't actually start bending your back like that, because it can cause lower back problems.
Yeah, that's right.
Whatnot.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I was right or not, but I just told them, I said, look, it doesn't look. I said every movement in the gym should look natural.
as you come down, you can push back a little bit just to get that
Get the
extra
squeeze,
stretch.
yeah.
And that's kind of acceptable. But I saw one in there. I had to intervene. There's a young girl in the gym, and she was literally all over the place. It was like riding a bike for the first time, and I went, she's going to hurt herself on that. I went up to her and I said, your weight's too heavy for a start. I said, let me show you how to do it properly. And I showed her. And she got it right after that. But I thought, you're just going to hurt yourself, you know.
Yeah. A lot of it's social media, though. When they're watching these videos and they're not realising that their strength, their upper strength might be strong enough to do it that way. But that's another thing. Ego lifting. It's what we do. You know, you see somebody lifting big and you're like, oh, I don't want to look stupid, so I'm going to lift something big. Then you're injured and then you're out. That's it. You're done.
I'll tell you something now, right? This is a true fact, and anybody can check this out. Anyone can Google it, okay? Bodybuilders prefer the lighter weights, especially leading up to a competition. Like, the last few weeks of a competition, they prefer the lighter weights. I only use light weights. I do more repetitions, but I use lighter weights, and that's because of my age, right? My muscle growth isn't going to be as good because I'm nearly in my 50s. So my muscle growth is not going to be as good. So to stimulate the muscle, I use lighter weights for more repetitions. Right? And people look over and think, he's a PT. Why is he only lifting 10s and 15s and 17s? Well, because I don't need to put a 30-pound dumbbell in each hand and press them. I don't need to do that. Why would I overexert my body? That's just silly.
Right. It makes sense. There's a video, I've seen it with the Olympian. Not Olympian, the Mr. Universe.
Yeah.
He says, I can lift 300, 400 kilos, but I don't need to.
No, you don't. Absolutely don't need to.
Yeah.
It's time under tension. And the other thing as well is to take into consideration is your age. So if I was in my, let's say I was 19, 20, something like that, and I don't know, let's say I dropped a 25-pound dumbbell on my leg and I broke it, right?
Yeah.
It's going to take 6 to 8 weeks to heal. That's it, right? Job done. 6 to 8 weeks, back in the gym, bosh, back at it, yeah?
Yeah.
At 49, I drop a 25-pound dumbbell on my leg and bust it. For the next 20 years, if I'm lucky enough to live that long, right, I'm going to have aches and pains in that leg, and I've done it like 10 years ago? It must have been about 10 years ago. I broke my ankle up and I have to wear a strap on my ankle every now and then because it's still giving me grief. Because of the age, your body does start to slow down. You need to take things easy. So I go for the lighter stuff rather than the heavier stuff and just do more repetitions and that's fine.
You're still hitting it, ain't you? You still get, as long as you're still hitting it. And the PT told me that. He said, lighter weight, so you bang on right. I do really believe that, because this guy as well, I forget his name. It was a recent one anyway on bodybuilding. And you see him doing it and he's like, the guy that was with him, this young American lad was with him and says, how much do you do on your lats? He was just like, 35 kilos. That's all I need. 35. He said, but I do the time under tension. So I do that a lot now as well. I will hold it under tension. I'll hold it. So I'll do like a 3-1-2, I think it's called. For bench press, for instance, it will take me 3 seconds to bring it down, hold it for 1, and then explosive out.
Yeah.
But again, that's one of the odd ones. If you don't sit your back right, you can hurt yourself.
Here's a little tip for you, right? Don't explode out either, right? Nice and steady back up. But even better, do it with dumbbells.
That's what I started to do.
Yeah, because you
get
that stretch right down here, down by your chest. You really get that stretch, and you can do it up. And another thing, if you're doing flies, twist at the end. Just twist them in at the end, and you'll get a lot more hypertrophy.
I've got to strengthen my wrist for that. I've got really weak wrist.
I know, once it's in the air, just do that.
Yeah, so I'll do the Arnold. It was that when I was doing the Arnold press.
Oh, yeah,
twist. It's causing no end. But then again, I was doing 30s, like 30s above and then down. But yeah, with bench press, I love doing the incline.
Yes,
on the dumbbells. I love that. It feels good. It looks good. And it makes me feel great about myself as well.
Yeah.
So, no, it's amazing. All right, so we've got some questions.
Okay. This,
that I
you're going to
wrote
have to edit
earlier.
this down now, aren't you? Because it's like what we are
No, it's
now, about
fine.
an hour and a half.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Honestly, like, I've got episodes on here for about 2 hours. It's cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
As long as the conversation's swinging.
All right,
Good.
your questions then. Let's have your questions.
Right. All right, here's one for you. What are some of your favourite healthy snacks or meals to fuel your workout?
If I'm treating myself, it'll be a grenade, either a grenade bar or a grenade protein shake.
Brilliant.
But
I like the
whatever.
protein shakes. They are quite nice, the strawberry ones.
I've just had a cheeky one of these as well. These are fantastic, right? These are protein pouches from Brooklee. You get them in.
They're Aldi. Is it Aldi?
Yeah, that's it. Get them in Aldi.
Yes.
And I get one of them. And for me personally, between PT sessions, they're great. Just neck one of them. They're like a froob on steroids.
Brilliant.
They're fantastic. They've got 25 grams of protein, keeps you full for 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know, away you go. So yeah, it's great. So they're my sort of go-tos.
How do you incorporate mindfulness and meditation into your fitness routine?
I personally, my meditation, you don't have to do, and I don't do it all the time, and I should probably do it a little more than I do. But I meditate a couple of times a week, and I just do it at the end of the day. I can't seem to get on with it in the morning, but I just sit, and sometimes I'll just sit there quietly and just sort of. One of the things I've started doing, which I really like doing, and anybody and everybody can do this, whether you're into meditation or not. Let's say you go for a walk, right? You don't have to. You could be sat in the car in Tesco's car park. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But you just sit there and you look maybe at the sky, maybe at a tree line, maybe at something else, and you just think about how fantastic that is. Like the view I've got out here out of my window is of rolling hills, and the amount of times I'll sit there and I'll just look out and I'll go, "Wow, isn't nature amazing?"
It's daydream. It's brilliant. That's meditation.
Yeah, it is, and I love that, and it gives you that kind of how good is it to be on this planet right now? Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what problems I've got. Just forget them for 5 minutes. Just look at that view. Just look at that view. Look at the sky. Look at the clouds. Look at that tree. Look at that, whatever it is. Just look at it and appreciate it for what it is. Yeah.
It's what I do. I speak a lot about meditation on here. Meditation's helps me out a lot, as all my listeners know. I don't use any of the paid ones, though, because I found a secret. So if you did want one, I've already told the listeners, but I'll say it again.
I do use
Insight Timer.
All right.
Insight Timer on the App Store is free with guided meditation, with just meditation noises, and it also keeps a log of how much you've done. It's a free app and it is brilliant. I've had all the headspaces and all of this and all of that, and I want £70 a month or whatever it is, £70 a year, shall I say. Insight Timer does it all for free. And
I'll
that's
have
what
a
I
copy
use.
of that off if you don't mind sharing that with me. That'd be great. Thank you.
Insight Timer.
Right.
Yeah, literally Insight Timer. It's very, I would say it's perhaps a realistic, like monk kind of meditation. It's even got, I forget what the symbol's called, but it's like a triangle thing with
yeah.
You'd perhaps see it on the Google or
I know
Apple
what you mean.
podcast. I'll get it on Apple. Insight Timer, and it's brilliant.
I'll have a go on that. Yeah.
Yeah, try it. It's brilliant, especially the guided meditation. I love that because it helps you through. So if you're new to meditation, you don't quite know what you're doing. Like me, I thought it was sitting down, legs crossed, going hum. It's not that. It's not. It's literally just having time to yourself.
I will say with meditation to anyone listening, if you think it's like maybe a little bit girly, it's not very macho, is it? Meditation, sitting there meditating, mate. You know what I mean? I'm meditating, bollocks to that. Just don't tell anyone.
Yeah,
just
keep it to yourself.
Sit there, keep it to yourself. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long you want. Just meditate. Try and get into it. Learn how to do it. I will tell you this now, right? I got to a point in my life, and I don't mind sharing this now. It was before I lost all the weight and everything as well. It was quite a way before that. I got to the point where I was going to end it. I got to the point where I went to the doctor and I said, I want to end it. He said, have you made any plans? I said, no. I said, but I'll tell you this now. I do not want medication. I do not 100% never want medication, but I know I need help. He said, right. He gave me a few websites. And he said, you can also try this app. And it was, what's the main one called? Not Headspace.
Vitamins? That's the one.
No. I'll think of it in a minute. But anyway, he gave me this app and I tried it for free and I got into meditation. My God, what a difference.
Yeah.
What a difference. Just clearing your mind for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. I can do it for about an hour now. But just clearing your mind. And sometimes it goes wrong and you just can't. And it's like really frustrating. But try again later on. And it works. And it is such an amazing thing to be able to do.
It's great. I love it. I literally love it. I do it. I do it in the truck.
Yeah.
Quite a lot. I do it in the truck. And I'll just have 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. And it's soothing music. Even this morning, I've got a playlist on my Amazon Music where it's just soft meditation music. And I'll just close my eyes. And I just...
Not while you're driving, obviously.
No, with the curtain shut.
Yeah.
But no,
stop
what
when you
I
feel
do
the thud.
I don't know, you come to a time when you're just there that you can actually hear the birds chirping because everything else goes silent. And all you can hear is the ambient noises around you and outside. And you just listen to it and you think, I'm no longer thinking about the moment right now, what's in my head, causing me all this grief, the overthinking, the worrying, the anxiety. It's all gone. I'm just having this time to myself. And that's what I love. So I urge everybody on this podcast, just get into it, try it out. It might not work for you, but it might be the best thing you do.
Yeah.
So,
Next question.
What's the weirdest fitness trend or workout you've ever tried or saw on social media? So the weirdest one or funniest. What's made you chuckle? Like, yeah, that's not right.
Bosu balls.
What are they?
They're half a ball, right? Like half a squishy ball, and they've got a platform on the top.
Like a space hopper?
Yeah, similar, like half of one of those, but it's got like a balancing pad on it and things like that.
All
The
right.
only thing they are good for is improving balance, right?
So I need that for my lunges.
Yeah, and you see people doing exercises with them, and they'll be like they'll like hold on to it, and they'll do like push-ups with it and things like that, and you'll hear the PT that's training them saying, yeah, well, this is really good for your balance, and it'll also work out your abs and your core and this and that, and you think, hang on, mate. No, because what your brain is now concentrating on is actually not the abs, not the core. It's actually concentrating on balancing because it wants to be safe. Right? That's all it's doing. Right?
And are these American PTs then that you're walking into?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Well, I'm watching online, aren't I? But you do. I'm glad you recognised it as American and not Russian. But yeah, you see them and you'll hear them saying, oh, yeah, it's great for the core. It's great for the abs. And by the way, the core starts at your neck and goes down to your whichever you've got, right? That is the core. It's not the abs. People seem to think the core is the abs. The core is the whole lot. All right, so it excludes your arms, your head.
I've learned something new today. Yeah, I just thought it was the abs, abdominal area kind of thing.
No. Core is everything. If you look at a skeleton, all right, there's this big gap in the middle, right?
Yeah.
All that's there is just the spine. That's it. The rest that's pretty much the main core around that area. So yeah, but the Bosu balls, probably the worst bit of equipment ever made, or no, not made. That's a lie. They're good for balance, but that is it. Don't use them for exercise.
So I take it you don't like the ab machines neither, where they're on the floor doing all that.
No, because when you right. So let's go and say you're in a gym. You're in that gym behind you now, right?
Yeah.
And you go up to the 25-pound dumbbells, right? And you pick them up and you start curling them, right? What do you naturally do with your body as you're curling, doing bicep curls?
Squeeze my butt cheeks.
Don't you squeeze your core naturally?
I don't know. You know what? I try and get my belly button to reach my spine. Yeah.
Yes.
If you like.
So you're getting a workout in your core and your abs just by lifting, right? You don't need to do crunches and things unless you've got a nice six pack and you want to really tone it. Then you would. But
okay.
Generally, you don't need to do core exercises because, if you're doing a pull-up, you tense your core, you tense your abs. If you're doing...
even walking.
Yeah.
It's your
Whatever
core, isn't
you're
it?
doing.
And running
Yeah.
and cycling, it's all core.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, I'll give you this one, and then I've got one thing left to say. Well, I want your opinion on, because it's something that's quite big at the moment, and everyone's telling me to do it, but I'm scared to do it because I think there's dangers to it. But I'll let you
is not
clear
good,
it up.
Bungee jumping is not
From the testicles. Whee! It got longer, Mum. If you could do only one exercise for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, any exercise.
Any exercise, whatever the one that makes you most happiest with, and perhaps give you the best outcome as well.
That's really difficult. Really difficult. I would say, there's so many. There are so many. See, if I couldn't get to a gym, jumping jacks, maybe. I don't know. It's hard. Yeah, it's a difficult one, that one, because there's so many that I like to do. Maybe walking.
That's what I would have said.
Maybe walking, because walking that's good for everything.
Gets you around. Beautiful places. Hiking, walking, yeah. Not
and you
fair
can even
play
walk to the gym.
Right. I feel almost like you need to do a deep voice on this one for me, just for the opening.
Okay.
We'll call it Jammer's favourite question, or something like that. Because this is something I want to know, and make it up. Do whatever you need to do, then I'll ask you the question.
Okay.
Jammer's jerky question.
Sounds brilliant. Right, are you ready for this?
Go on.
Fasting is my question, because everyone's telling me to do it, and I am absolutely frightened of doing that, because some of my mates are doing it up to 18 hours, and I don't know if there's any benefits to this or if it's actually quite detrimental to the body.
Well, it's not detrimental. It can be really beneficial. And what it will do is it will enhance your body's ability to burn fat faster. All right. Okay. So I have fasted. I've done it for about 2 months. I don't do it any longer, but I probably will go back to doing it at some point. And I do, is it called 15-6 or something?
No idea.
15-8, 16-8, something like that. But anyway, it works out. So basically, I'll have my last meal at like 8 o'clock in the evening, and then I'll fast right through until midday the next day, which sounds hard. But when you think you're asleep for 8 hours of that, it's not so hard.
So maybe I'm fasting then, because I don't have breakfast.
Well, it depends. If you get up and you have a fizzy drink, if you get up and have a coffee with some honey in it, or coffee's okay. Coffee's okay, but it's what you put in it. So if you have milk in it,
sugar and milk. Yeah. Yes, I have slim milk or Bob milk. It's called Bob because it's got protein.
So you've broken the fast straight away.
Right.
So if you had just black coffee on its own, or debatably a sweetener, then you're fasting. But if you put anything in it, then no, you've broken the fast straight away. But yeah, it is a good thing. But I wouldn't say do it all the time, because it will be bad for you eventually. So do it like what I tend to do is, when I do it, I'll do a week of it. So I'll do Monday fast, Tuesday eat normal, Wednesday fast, Thursday eat normal, Friday fast, Saturday eat normal, Sunday fast. Then I stop for a couple of weeks.
Oh, right, okay. So you could do it almost like if you're on like a lot of people do carnivore diets or whatever, and then try and get one day a week where you're just eating vegan stuff like salads and vegetable kind of diet thing.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I say don't ever change what you eat. So if for example, I had a client that came to me, and he was on a carnivore diet,
Right.
which is great. It's fine. The meat, the protein synthesis in his body was fine, but to get the proteins into your body, guess what you need? You need
Go on.
carbohydrates.
Oh, for it to absorb.
Yeah, you need carbohydrates for it to be absorbed into the body. So
Mm.
what I said to him, and the other thing was, he was in the gym and he was shaking when he was pushing weights. He was shaking, right? On his last few reps, absolutely shaking. And I said, you need carbs. So I said, no way you can work out like that unless I give you a really light weight, in which case it's not doing any good.
Yeah.
You need carbs. You know,
Just
even if it's a
fatiguing.
sweet potato, yeah, do like a jacket sweet potato in the microwave for 2 minutes. Have that with some fish on it, whatever. I said, but you need carbs. And then the following week, he said, I took your advice, and do you know what? He could lift twice as heavy
Wow.
because he got the energy to get through the workout. So
Wow. See, I know they do that for marathons and stuff. Don't they have like a pasta party to build up on the carbs before they're going out and doing that?
that's right. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
mad, isn't it? The way things that work and the
Yeah.
foods that you need to get you through certain things.
I have
I'm
a
blown away.
flapjack. I have a flapjack before I work out. I have a
Yeah,
not
the oats.
not a butter one though, because that's bad. But I have a regular flapjack.
Yeah, I'll be
Sometimes I'll
honest
make
with
my
you,
own
chocolate.
Do you know what? Make your own stuff, right? You're saying about dieting earlier on, right? And what you put into your body, and does it have to be expensive? Make your own stuff. I get protein powder, and I'll make banoffee flapjacks, right,
Nice.
with protein powder. So, I think there's in one flapjack there's like 22 grams of protein. Can't remember how many carbs there are now, but there's enough carbs in there. They are fantastic, and they're so simple to make. You can make them in 10 minutes. You can make a
Go
whole
on,
tray.
you've said it now, so you've got to give us the recipe and how you do it, I think.
So you get your porridge oats, and I'll tell you a really nice breakfast as well in a minute. Right, you'll love this. I want you to try it, and I want you to give me your honest opinion. All right.
Yep.
So you get your porridge oats, you put them in a pot. You get you can put in your protein powder. You put in a little bit of honey. You put in anything else that you might want, like maybe a few nuts. Don't go heavy on the nuts because of the oils. Then you put in what else do you put in? Christ, I can't remember. It's been a while since I've done them. You mix it all up. What do you put in it? I can't remember now. I'm missing one vital ingredient.
Egg? Do you have egg?
No, I can't remember. But anyway, you mix it all up, put it on a tray, bang it in the oven. Put it in the fridge first, then you bang it in the oven about half hour later. Put it on for 10 minutes. Job done. Cut it into slices. Take one at work with you each day. Bosh, job done.
Yeah.
For breakfast, right? How about this? So I use creatine, and I found it's a bad thing to put into this bread. It popped on me. It went everywhere. You get your porridge oats, right? They're called proats, these. So if you've got like an empty honey jar or empty pickle jar, something like that, clean it out, put it in there. So you put in your porridge oats, you put in your protein powder, you put in maybe a little bit of, if you're bulking, you could put cream in there. If you're not, you could put Greek yogurt in there, something like that. Put the milk in, then mix it all up really, really, really well. Leave it in the fridge overnight. When you come down you put fruit in it as well. Put like blueberries, whatever in it.
Yeah, nice.
Leave it in the fridge overnight. First thing in the morning, have that. It is delicious. You'll love that. It's really good for you.
I'll try it. You've tried it. I've tried one thing before. I made myself protein pancakes, which is very similar. So it was a pancake mix that you buy from Tesco.
That's it.
I put a cap full of protein straight into the protein mix.
Yeah.
Shook it around and just put it onto my hot thing. And there we go. And then cut them in triangles. And my packed lunchbox was full of these triangle protein pancakes, and it was brilliant.
Yes.
And granola, I love a lot of protein granola, but there's only one place that does it, and that's Aldi.
Yeah, protein
so I shop
granola.
at Tesco for normal groceries, but yeah, Aldi's they're big on the protein stuff. Really big.
They're fantastic on
and
protein.
Like you said, you've got the what you've
pouches.
had a moment ago, the pouches.
Yeah.
They're really
Yeah.
good, and it's quite well priced as well, isn't it? Whereas protein, most places, quite expensive, if you know what I mean. So,
and they're really, really good as well. The protein yogurt. What I do is I go for full fat Greek yogurt. Don't ever have diet stuff or reduced fat stuff. It's just pointless. All right.
just have the full thing, yeah.
Well, the thing is, they've got to replace it with something, haven't they? They've got to replace the fat with something, and normally they replace it with sugars. So
Yeah, you're right.
So have full
So you're
fat.
having it actually organic then?
Yeah, organic. So
We got him, boys. We got him.
have the full fat. Yeah. Full fat Greek yogurt with some of the granola on it. Mix that in, maybe a teaspoon of honey. Bosh. Really good breakfast.
So you love this honey. I've heard you say to me as well, have honey in my coffee. I've never tried it yet, so I'm going to try that this weekend.
Yeah,
I'm going to give it a go.
Black coffee, bit of honey. Bosh.
Yeah. Well, Dazzle, it's been absolutely amazing having you on. It's been really insightful. Hopefully the listeners out there have learnt something.
Thanks for having me. And don't forget to follow me on YouTube as well for more hints, tips, and crazy shit. Drive Fitness UK. Also, I'm on Instagram, Drive Fitness 24/7, all one word. Facebook, Drive Fitness UK, and everyone else that knows me.
Sorted. And please do send me over those links. I'll put them in the show notes. So if people can't quite get it through listening or whatever, I will put them on the screen for those of you watching as well, so you can go and see where they are, and also in the show notes. So, Dazzy, you've been amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I've enjoyed it.
That's been brilliant. Is there anything you'll say to anybody out there that's still not convinced about going to get fit and healthy? What would you say to them right now listening?
It doesn't have to be a chore. It can be fun. And whatever you do, just fucking do it.
Boom, mic drop. You're going to get me back in the gym now.
Hopefully.
See you all next week, guys. Or actually the week after, because we do twice a month now. So take care.
See you later. Thank you.
Thank you very much for tuning in this week, guys. Really do appreciate it. If you want to reach out, you can do on all of the social medias and even the podcast sites, wherever you listen to your podcast. Just search Still Worth the Journey. And remember, you are still worth the journey. See you all next week.